Hello, Aries. How are you? Happy New Year. Today is January 3rd. I'm here to do your reading for the week. Just a reminder, I am still taking appointments for the annual readings. If you're interested, please have a look at the information down in the description box. This week, looking at the astrology for the week, it's very, very busy. And actually for this whole first half of first half of January, Mercury is very busy, which means that your mind can kind of be working overtime. On Friday the 1st, Mercury squared Neptune. On Tuesday, January 5th, Mercury conjuncts Pluto, which is good energy, kind of like for getting to the bottom of things. On Friday, Mercury moves into Aquarius, which means that you'll be looking at things from a very different perspective, a little less concerned about the climb and the money and the goal, and more about how it affects everybody, more humanity, more big picture thinking, maybe even have some sort of like eureka moment where it's like, oh, okay, I finally figured that out. On Saturday, Mercury squares Mars. That's a fight. So careful that next Saturday could be a little war of words there. On Sunday, Mercury conjuncts Saturn, which means that actually he's going to be really serious about these Aquarian thoughts. Like, well, why aren't we taking care of more of the people? Why aren't we doing more to help humanity? And then next week, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter, squares Uranus, and excuse me. Yes, and then that's kind of it for Mercury. So he's been really busy for the first 12 days of this month. Other notable transits this week. One is finally, hallelujah. Mars finally moves into Taurus on Wednesday, January 6th. So we will definitely feel that. We should feel a little less, I don't want to say driven, but that's the right word. For 10 months, Mars has been in Aries and it's kind of like, go, go, go. Mars in Taurus will sort of ease some of that up and allow us to finally start to tend to seed some of these ideas, actions, all these new beginnings, right? We'll finally start to be able to like root them properly and before we start to nurture them, right? The Cancer, when Mars goes into Cancer, it'll be more about nurturing these things. Mars in Aries is the starting energy. Mars in Taurus is when we really plant them and we make sure that they are properly rooted. As Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so it is the most stubborn sign of all the zodiac, as anyone who's been married to a Taurus will know. So this is like, it will kind of be like a breath of fresh air. Like instead of feeling like we have to run all the time, it'll be really about focusing. Instead of going laterally, it'll be about going in deep. Then on Friday, as I said, Mercury moves into Aquarius. On the same day, Venus moves into Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn is very different energy. She's not afraid to enjoy the money or enjoy the spoils. It's a very rational Venus. It doesn't mind marrying for money, because it's ultimately interested in material comfort, material pleasure. So you may find that you're looking more for the good life, let's put it that way, in quotes, starting Friday on the 8th. Or Friday the 8th, yes. And then the 9th, we have Mercury square Mars. I told you that's a fight. Venus trines Mars is actually nice energy there. So that sort of materialistic energy will be trining the seeding energy. So something good coming out of that. And then again, Mercury conjunct Saturn on Sunday the 10th, which is starting to get serious about some of the things that you've been thinking about. Now, that's enough of that. Let's get started with the energy for the week. What is the overall energy for Aries, week of January 3rd, 2021? Overall energy for Aries, week of January 3rd, 2021. Okay, interesting. Complacency. We've seen this card before. Now it's funny because this is actually seeing an old woman sitting on a chair there, is quite a Taurian image. So we may confuse the sudden stillness or the sudden need to sit still with complacency. And that's actually not, I don't believe that's the case right now. It's really just things kind of slowing down and allowing us to go, as I said, go down deeper into some of the things we've been sort of skidding on the surface about for the last 10 months. Let's get the challenge energy. Now, I will also say it can also be kind of like a asterisk warning of to be attentive to this Mars and Taurus energy, which is going to have us feeling a little bit more still, a little bit stable. It's quite easy to get very lazy under Taurian energy, not want to move from the home, particularly since we're talking about January, February, which are kind of like the two hardest months to get motivated. So do understand the difference between a new calming stable energy and letting that slip into just laziness, and not taking opportunities as they come, letting things sort of die. Let's get the challenge. What's the challenge for the week, please? For Aries, challenge for the week of January 3rd, 2021. Challenge for Aries. Interesting. So when I was shuffling before, the card that fell out from this deck was Faith. There's Zoe. And so what comes up here is the trust. Then this is the Knight of Cups. And it's actually very interesting because I was looking at, I want to see if I can find it. I was looking at this Faith card, and the one thing that I was noticing was that one of the characters in there looked like the Knight of Cups, and there he is. I'm going to pull this card out because I think it's important now. Here it is. So you see there's this guy carrying a cup there, and I was thinking that he looked very much like the Knight of Cups, and this was very much sort of that Aquarian energy. And I think that the thing with these three cards here, you know, the idea of trust, and look, there's that change from red to blue and change here from these two colors, is that if you see a slowdown in things, right, to have faith and trust that it's not necessarily, you know, coming to a screeching halt. It may just be that shift in Taurus energy or into Taurus energy, and to have faith that the things that need to be revealed will be revealed when they need to, because, you know, this woman's carrying like the earth there, he's got his cup, and to have faith that the things that you need will come to you when you need them. This also looks to me like some people worrying that like things aren't turning out the way that they hoped or the way that they wanted, and so they feel like actually they've been surrounded by sort of like desolation, that everything's passing them by, and that there's nothing that they can do about it. And the sentence that comes to mind is, you know, what is yours will never be withheld. So it's not that like if it hasn't come to you, it's never going to happen. If it's yours, it will be yours and it will find you. And that requires a little faith and a little trust in the universe, and that it will show up for you when needed. And then this is interesting also because you see there's that sort of violet flame of protection. I feel also that like with all this Mercury energy here, that there's messages trying to come in to us, that they're trying to bring some information to us, but it has to come through our spiritual knowledge, because this is the amethyst, you know, which is sort of like the 7th chakra or 6th chakra stone. And so that if we sort of judge by what we're seeing on the earthly plane, we might feel very discouraged, but we need to sort of tap into our spiritual mind in order to see the gifts that are being brought and to see the bigger picture and get sort of a divine guidance. Let me get to the lesson. You know, so it's kind of saying to me like, beware of complacency. What you need is coming. And also don't mistake slowing down for giving up. Okay. Oh, interesting. So this is green Tara, supreme protection. You are being protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Okay, so there's, you know, one very common message here. We've got the violet flames of protection. We've got trust showing up twice, and also the faith card coming up. So this to me seems like almost an illusion of the mind that's going on. Sort of that shadow work coming up to keep you in the negative space, and that we need to have a little faith that things will unfold as they need to in due time. I also feel like there's like a faith in, I got the phrase faith in the healing here, or that healing is available, or the faith that the healing is taking place and that the healing is on your path also. Can I get 2 cards, please, for beginning and ending energy? Okay, and then that one fell out also. So Wandering Circus in reverse here. Oh, see? Peaks of Joy. Now, interesting. This is a 6 and this is a 6. So there's like a shift of energy that happens here. Instead of kind of feeling stuck on this little island here, it actually serves as sort of a leaping off place. And you see how they're all jumping here? Like there's kind of some sort of leap of faith that needs to happen in your life. Let me just read this because it's in reverse. All right, if you think that the sun won't rise without you, then it's time to change. Perhaps you believe no one will be there to help you, or you expect that you have to do all the work, emotional or otherwise. This is a fear-based idea and only serves to alienate you from others by taking away their right to participate. Receiving the Wandering Circus card may indicate the misuse of power. Give it up, let go of the need to control how the wind blows, and let others play their part. You don't need to be invincible, have all the answers, or be the savior. Things will get done if you step out of your own way. Interesting. That's interesting here also. You know, especially since I said that, like, if you see that things are slowing down or you're not like the protagonist and everything, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening. It's just a different kind of energy. You don't, yes, okay. Yet another meeting for this card suggests that someone else may be trying to control you. This needs to be addressed. Don't be afraid to set a boundary. This is a wonderful step to interdependence. Consider the example of 2 trees planted side by side, sharing the sunlight equally, neither overshadowing the other. So that was for a specific message for someone. But it seems to me that here it's like, there's kind of like typical Aryan fear that like if I don't do it myself, it'll never get done, which frankly is the way most of the time. But it looks like here, you know, this came up a few weeks ago in one of the reading that like the people that we needed were going to find their way to us. And I feel like some of you may be getting discouraged that the people aren't showing up, or maybe somebody did show up, but they were the wrong person. But to have faith that what you need is going to find its way to you when you need it. And it requires taking, like, kind of loosening up the, no, I'll do it all by myself approach, and letting someone else help you. Also, you know, accepting the help, because it's one thing for it to be offered, but then you have to take it. And this kind of solitude here, you see the difference in the energies between this person working completely in solitude and this other one seeking the guidance, the assistance of others. particular, and they can be, you know, soul friends, soulmates, soul contracts, whatever they are. But it seems to me that if you're kind of in a place of sort of stubborn aloneness, no, I refuse to let go of this, I'm going to have to do it myself, to kind of loosen up and take a leap of faith and see what happens, because ultimately you're being protected. Now, 3 cards, please, for Aries. Week of January 3rd. That's the other thing I meant to mention, actually, is that Venus in Capricorn can also be a little bit pessimistic. Like, oh, I'm never gonna have, it can almost like put you into a lack, a sense of lack. And it's interesting because if Mars is in Taurus and Venus is in Capricorn, then it's kind of like Mars is in Capricorn also, which can make you feel like very guilty for not having achieved as much as you thought you had, like you're not as far as you expected to be on the path, and there's so much more to go, and you know, it can be really sort of pessimistic and down on itself. So I would be wary of that mental energy, particularly since Mercury is so busy this week, or this month actually. 3 cards please for Aries, week of January 3rd. Okay, yeah, so there's the Devil, kind of like, and this is the Capricorn card, right? So we can kind of keep ourselves in a mental chains if we want to. We can keep our thoughts and keep our habits in mental chains. And it can quickly become toxic. So I would say, like, beware of that sort of toxic Capricornian thinking. And here's a nice 4 of Wands in the middle of the reading. We'll see how that shows up. But the 4 of Wands talks about, you know, balance, homecoming, things coming home when they are meant to, receiving, laying the cornerstone, laying the ground stone. One more card, please, for Aries. For the week of January 3rd. And this talks to me, you know, it's like, see the couple there? Like they go from being in chains to being able to walk through that gate there. So there's a real shift in energy towards freedom and towards movement and towards a sense of homecoming, a clear sense of changing from one place to another. This could also, you know, just talk about finally shifting energy from 2020 to 2021. Okay, yes, I'm feeling defensive. So this is kind of like, I feel like this one's in the middle of the reading here, you know, like worried that it's always going to stay like this and that there's not going to be a different energy. And this kind of says to me, you know, have faith, things move at the right time. What you need will come to you, healing will find its way to you, but also like really take advantage or like seek out that violet flame healing to protect yourself from letting your mind slip into sort of a dark place or from feeling sort of trapped in a sense of complacency. And, you know, it's interesting here because you have all these cards which are really stuck. The complacency, the Devil, and the Nine of Wands. And this one is very stuck, being replaced with a sense of flying, a sense of movement, a sense of wind, like air energy coming through, which is very nice. Like, so, which is interesting because it doesn't really, oh no, it does because of the Aquarius, right? So this is a lot more of like the Aquarian energy that's going on here. Let's get some advice. Yeah, so I think you really want to kind of like tap into like study up on the Aquarius energy, the key words and stuff like that. Because that is what will sort of set us free, and moving out of the Capricorn that we've been so used to for so long. Now, of course, we still have Pluto there, but to really familiarize yourself with the Aquarian energy and to trust that things are changing. Oh, there we go. I think we got this a couple of weeks ago, but this is Ascended Master Lao Tzu and Zinkite, Descending Power. All right, so let's read what that says. This is a 10. So conclusions. Oh, open right to it. There we go. We bring you the blessing of descending power. This is the powerful downward current of energy that allows for manifestation, for strengthening of the spiritual connection to the body, and of bringing your light to the earth. The fantastic. That's this card in a nutshell. In the spiritual tradition, there's much emphasis on energy rising. Yet without the balance of descending power, you will feel lost in your mind. Interesting. Scattered in your thinking and frustrated in your efforts to see the inspired ideas you receive translated into completed tasks in the physical world. The uprising power helps you shift frequencies and access inspiration, while the descending power helps you ground to create. And that grounding energy is actually really interesting because that's what will happen with the Mars in Taurus, right? So it feels like almost maybe like we've been spending all this time in Mars in Aries, like really doing that uplifted energy, shifting our vibration, going onto a different level. And we may actually be starting to feel frustrated. It's like, well, okay, I've done all this shifting. I'm in a different dimension. Like, when am I going to start seeing the results, right? Venus and Capricorn show me the money. And that can start to make us feel like nothing's ever going to happen. We're stuck, that we keep wasting opportunities. And actually what this is saying is that as this Mars in Taurus shifts, into Taurus, that actually we're going to be focusing on downloading the power and descending power. So making things happen, starting to lay the cornerstones and seeing things actually start to manifest and to come to us, and to trust that it's, that it's in the air. There's a time and place for both the rising and the descending currents of divine energy. You are guided to attend at this time to the descending power to make best progress on your life journey. So I would say here, really do some active, like violet flame protection manifestations. Also do, God, what was the word? Sorry, things are like leaving my mind. Oh, lots of grounding rituals, manifestations, things that make you feel very balanced and connected to the earth, and things that make you feel like you are connected to a very bountiful and beautiful earth, and not that, you've been you're stuck and sitting there watching the leaves fall off. That there has been a very clear shift in energy going on. And while you may be quite suspicious to see, like, did things really change or not? What they're saying is that now it's shifted on one level, and now it's time to call in that power from above, so that it starts manifesting itself, interestingly here, moving from one dimension onto the earth. So taking all of those ideas that we've been gathering over the past few months and actually bringing them down to earth and making them happen, grounding them in reality. So interesting. Yeah. So I would say, like, you may feel an uncomfortable shift of energy as things go out of Aries out of fire and into earth, and also Venus into Capricorn. So there's a lot of like earth energy going around now, and it may feel that things are moving slower. That does not mean that they have stopped. It means that they are consolidating, that they are taking root, in order to be able to grow. Fantastic. Okay, so hope this was helpful, and wishing you a very happy week. Take care.